Horizon Zero Dawn is a prodigious evolution in narrative expression in video games. Like a new understanding of chipsets or graphics cards, this game will propel the medium forward. Within the first moments of Horizon Zero Dawn, you are introduced to the main motif, and it doesn't stop. You are alone. In your communities, in yourself, and in the universe. How we fight against this very human cynicism, looking into the void, is what Horizon Zero Dawn answers. It does this through brilliant narrative design, gameplay synergy that meshes all these elements together, and finally, just pure unyielding genius. Genius is magic, it's not material. You experience the world in Horizon Zero Dawn as Aloy, a young woman cast out of her tribe that lives in a landscape in which robots rule the land. The technology of the past, of our lives, and the daily comforts it provides are no longer there. The only thing you have to contend with are these robot demons and humanity and the strange way they're trying to rebuild again. She lives adjacent to the Nora tribe, a group of people that have fetishized the role of motherhood so much that it's literally their god, the All-Mother, and Aloy doesn't have a mother. She was cast out into the wilds, protected by another outcast, Rost, and meant to face the world, meant to understand the one question, why are we alone? From that point on, until the end of the game, everything you see, everything you do, everything that happens to you is meant to serve the narrative. Tutorials are truncated into narrative lessons from your father, meant to actually help you survive in the world. Early on, you find a bit of old world forbidden technology called a focus. This opens up real gamey things like a map. It opens up character details. Even fast travel is all kind of gamified through a narrative means. And all of it also furthers the idea, the concept of isolationism. You experience this rich, vibrant world and the societies in it as an outsider. Through the narrative, Aloy eventually does reunite with this tribe very early on and gets to explore the concepts of the All-Mother being destroyed and eventually killing the machine god, the Karja's belief that blood sacrifices to the sun god stop society from diminishing and dying. All of this is impactful because of your unique position and because of how the game positions it to you. You are an outsider. You don't know the validity of this, and you are alien. You truly are the other. This is punctuated even further when you get to explore the forgotten metal world, our world, and see it through those eyes. Now, this revelation, I think, is really where the genius of Guerrilla Games shines through, but we're going to get back to that in a second. Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn is a living character. You interact through other characters through something called flashpoints. It's Horizon Zero Dawn's answer to conversation elements. But in this game, it's not about the binary of good or bad. It's feelings. It's the emotional moments that in our lives make up a lifetime. There's about half a dozen to a dozen of them in the game. They all have effects, and they all really make that experience serve you, but it never feels like it's contrary again to this main brilliant motif of isolationism. You're not going to do renegade punches of hitting a reporter and being a stalwart hero. There is one clear understanding of what this experience is like, and the game follows through on it. Combat is isolating. You stalk and hunt your prey using a myriad of traps and weapons, from trip casters to sling bongs to just the classic bow and arrow. Harrowing at times, is fast, fluid, but still reinforces the notion that you have to face this threat. This threat is unique to you, and you have the tools to succeed. I found myself later, when I came back to the game, wanting to collect every metal rose, every ancient power core, not because I wanted to reinforce my relationships with the strong characters that were provided, not because I was hoping to achieve some sort of amorphic check mark because I got everything needed, but because I wanted to understand the world. I wanted to get more perspective on how they dealt with a world that was coming to an end. Functionally, there are some small annoyances. Lip syncing issues stop some of the greatest moments of the game from having really big impact. It's difficult to know what items you get are better than the items you have through their menu system. And some of the errand missions you eventually have to do, presented as tutorials, don't really sync with that vibe. They're not functioning like they should. But we're not reviewing a toaster oven. These sort of small issues are akin to your seat being uncomfortable as you watch the best movie of your life. They shouldn't be in the conversation. If people talk about this game so compartmentalized in this way, it's a huge disservice not only to you, the listener, but I think for the people that made this incredible product. Ultimately, the real genius, though, comes from the confluence of all of those gameplay elements to that one structure, and then it adds us, the player. We already know, outside of this game, what happened to the old world. We understand the lifestyle that our current technology provides for us. It's such a tragedy that a lot of the answers that Aloy is looking for, a lot of the ancient items that she believes have these magical powers, are very mundane and banal in our society. It creates kind of an obtrusive feeling looking into another world. It's isolating not only to role play, but only to experience as the player outside of the game. It's a strange tactic, but connecting that all together made me feel more immersed in this title than any game I've ever had the experience of playing. This is a benchmark for not only any game made in 2017, in the last 10 years, but it also builds off the history of 150,000 years of primitive humans just trying to tell stories. If you have to put a letter grade or a number to it, it's the closest thing to perfection that we've seen in gaming this year and for many of them that preceded it. When the credits rolled on Horizon Zero Dawn, not only was there a sense of catharsis for the character and the world that was developed, but there was an internal sense, for me at least, that an answer was given to one of the pressing questions that was first introduced 70 hours ago. How do we live alone, knowing our doom is coming? Guerrilla Games and Horizon Zero Dawn helped give that answer. We live to serve others. I'm Andy Burkowski. This is Video Game Sophistry.